Good morning. I'm Reverend Chris Jimerson, co-lead minister. I am 6 foot, 62 years old, wearing a bright blue robe and a rainbow kitties stole. My pronouns are he, him. This is a vibrant and busy time at First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin, so before we formally begin our worship service, we wanted to let you know about some things going on that you might want to know about to get involved in the life of the church. First, each Sunday, one of our caring companions is designated to be available in the sanctuary after the service to listen to any immediate pastoral needs and assist you with connecting to additional pastoral support if you would like. Today's caring companion is Kelly Rayleigh. Kelly, would you stand and/or wave so that folks can thank you for your work? Please see Kelly after the service if you need. On each Sunday, we light candles along the windows in the sanctuary or wherever folks may be watching the service to mark sacred moments in our lives. Although we will have a designated time during worship for these candle lightings, you're also invited to light them at any time during the service you feel moved to do so. I will be on sabbatical leave beginning this coming Friday through December 31, engaging in post-election recovery therapy no matter how the election turns out. I leave you in the extraordinarily capable care of Reverend Michelle, your church staff, and our outstanding church leadership. Finally, just a reminder, please join us after this Celebration Sunday service today for a continuing celebration, including lots of fun, fellowship, and food. Now, let all who have gathered in beloved community, whether in virtual space or in person, join our spirits in worship together.
Welcome, everyone. Before we begin, I have one more extra special announcement. Expect to see a Dia de los Muertos altar at First UU in the foyer outside the sanctuary when you arrive for services next Sunday, November 3rd, compliments of Austin Sanctuary Network. Some of the ASN members can't return to their homeland to honor their ancestors where they were buried, to follow the traditions of their communities, and so we are having a special service here to try to mark that ritual with them. The ceremony will start at 2 p.m. that Sunday, and it will honor loved ones who've passed away. And UUs, that's all of you, are invited and welcome to bring a photo of your deceased loved ones who you might like to honor if you want to come join them for the ceremony. ASN, that's Austin Sanctuary Network, will provide simultaneous interpretation in Spanish and English, so either way, you won't miss anything. After the ceremony, we'll gather in House and Hall for a potluck of dishes our loved ones enjoyed the most during their lives. For more information and to tell us if you plan to attend the ceremony, please email Peggy, who can give a wave. She's wearing bright green, embroidered flowers, curly hair, at insideamigos@austinuu.org. So, good morning. Whether you are here, joining us online, or in the sanctuary, welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin. We are a spiritual community dedicated to a free and responsible search for truth, meaning, and beauty. I am the Reverend Michelle LaGrave, your co-lead interim minister. I am much shorter than Rev Chris, wearing a dark blue robe and red goddess stole, and my pronouns are she, her. It is a joy to be with all of you today for Celebration Sunday. I especially want to welcome you if you are new to the congregation. If you are joining us remotely, and if you can, please say hello in the comments and let us know from where you are viewing the service. If you are here in person, please join us for the social hour. Actually, it's not really social hour today. It's a giant party after worship. Either way, though, we invite you to fill out the online visitor form at austinuu.org. Simply click on worship, which will then show you a link to the form. We would love to get to know all of you who are new here better. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, wherever you find yourself on your life's journey, whomever your ancestors, whichever your pronouns, whatever your abilities or disabilities, whether you've walked in or rolled in or joined in online, whomever you love, you are welcome here. You belong here. We come from a tradition, a long tradition of seeing a spark of the divine in every person. It is in this tradition that we invite you to greet the holy among us, either in the comments online or by turning to those around you in person in the sanctuary or in House and Hall. Now let us greet each other.
My name is Mary Overton. I'm lay leader today. I also lead our stewardship team here at First Austin UU. My pronouns are she, her. I'm in between height between Michelle and Chris, wearing a bright green shirt and black slacks today. Now, let's say our words together as we light our chalice. This is the flame we hold in our hearts as we strive for justice for everyone. This is the light we shine upon systems of oppression until they are no more. This is the warmth we share with one another as our struggle becomes our salvation. Today, we celebrate a dream awakening. Today, we worship with renewed hope in our hearts. Today, we act on an audacity of hopes and dreams for the future. Today, we begin the hard work for justice, equity, and compassion in all human relations. For today is a day like no other, and it is ours to shape with vision and action. Let us worship together and celebrate a dream awakening. Now, please rise either in body or spirit, and let us sing together hymn 361 from the Gray Hymnal. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
That was some nourishing souls right there, wasn't it? One of the things that holds First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin together is that we have a common religious purpose. For this church, that common purpose is our mission. The congregation wrote it together. We put it on the wall in our sanctuary, and we say it together every Sunday to more readily carry it in our hearts throughout the week. Let's do so now. Together, we nourish souls, transform lives, and do justice to build the beloved community.
If you wake up and don't want to smile, a little while. I know you don't believe that it's true. I never meant any harm to you. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop, it'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Ooh, don't you look back. Ooh, don't you look back. Ooh, don't you look back. Ooh, don't you look back.
Okay, let's see, is this working? Is the magical amplification device working properly? Yay, I did it. I pushed the on button right. My name is Caitlin Sickles, and I'm going to be reading the story for all ages today. So if everyone would, all the young at heart and young, and those who would like the best view of the pictures, would like to join me up here. I'm going to be reading my favorite Halloween book here today. I know. Can anyone guess what my favorite holiday is? Oh, see, I knew I was going to forget to do something. So I am a taller woman with red hair and black and green and gray on, of a certain age. and my favorite witch's hat. So, all right. I love your dress. So the book we're reading today is one of my favorite Halloween books. It's called The Halloween Tree. Incidentally, my second favorite Halloween book, called Room on the Broom, is part of the Story Walk, which is in the garden behind the church. So if you guys haven't had a chance to check it out. Oh, that's great. Now we're going to read it again. All right, so this is called The Halloween Tree. Okay. The Christmas tree farm bustled with excitement. Carols played as families moved up and down the rows of tall pine trees, saying things like, "This one is beautiful," or "That one is perfect." A fancy decorated tree at the front, one sapling grumbled, "I don't like lights. I don't like decorations, and I don't like people." As trees disappeared off the lot, the little tree mumbled, "I don't want to be a Christmas tree. I never want to leave this spot." Tree listened as the others saplings buzzed with anticipation. "I can't wait," a sprout whispered. "Colored lights," one sighed. "I hope I get a star on my top," said another. The little tree grumbled, "I want to become a Christmas tree, and I'm not going to." Did you guys see the little tiny spider who's just in love with the grumpy tree? tree grew, its limbs became gnarled and twisted. Every time needles sprouted, thoughts of being decorated with lights and ornaments made them turn brown and fall off. The tree looked nothing like the others. One day, all the other trees on the lot disappeared, all except one. And in case you can't see, there's a little billboard sign that says Whispering Pines, in case nobody knows what's coming. Eventually, houses began to appear, and with houses came families. By then, the tree had grown tall and broad. Its limbs were twisted and covered with strange knobs. One summer, the tree heard children's voices coming close and scoffed. People. Yeah, named Ben cried. That tree looks grumpy. I like it, his sister Sarah said as she touched a branch. It's so creepy. I dare you to climb it, their friend Tomas challenged her. Sarah pulled herself up into the tree and sat on a cozy bough. It's a pirate ship, she shouted and waved for the others to join her. All the children climbed aboard. When the neighborhood kids needed a hideout, the tree became their fort. When they played astronauts and aliens, it was their spaceship. And one foggy day, the tree even turned into a dragon. When winter came, a cold wind blew, and the children didn't come outside to play. The tree, with its limbs empty, stood all alone. On a snowy afternoon, the tree watched as Sarah and Ben's father carried a large bundle into the house. That night, a Christmas tree appeared in the window. I don't like lights, I don't like decorations, and I don't like people, the tree whispered, but he couldn't turn away. The next year, the same thing happened. The kids played in the branches until the snow began to fall. One spring, the tree tried to make its needles grow properly, but after years of trying to stop them, they came in looking all wrong. By summer, they had fallen off. A few months later, Sarah and Ben's parents were decorating for Halloween. Their father looked across the yard and said, "That is one horrible old tree." "We should cut it down," their mother agreed. "Not now," the tree thought. "Not now that my limbs are full of happy children." Up in the branches, Sarah whispered, "No, they can't." "We have to save the tree," Tomas cried. "I know what to do," Ben said, and whispered his plan to the other kids. They climbed down and raced away to gather supplies. When they came back, Ben was already up in the tree, wedging a huge jack-o'-lantern in a nook. They all climbed up, and from the tree's branches, they hung white and orange lights, cobwebs made from string, rubber spiders, cardboard cats and bats, ghosts, witches, and skeletons. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And there's still the same spider, the real one, there. That night, the parents and all the neighbors gathered to admire the tree. The children danced beneath, shouting, "Trick or tree," to each other. He's so easy.
I guess I was wrong, the tree thought. I do like lights. I do like decorations. And I do like people. I love being a Halloween tree. Yay. That's the end. Yay. So what do you guys think that the kids did?
They were trying to make it Halloween, so the parents could cut it down.
Yeah, so they all came together as a community and made something beautiful together, didn't they? Yeah.
Spooky Halloween.
A spooky Halloween tree. And the tree got to find joy in just being himself, didn't he?
He likes being a Halloween tree decorated of Halloween stuff, not Christmas.
Yeah. Yep. He had to do his own thing. All right, so now it's time for everyone to go out to the playground or music class. Yay! And we'll sing everybody out. Thank you, everyone.
Who am I? Well, my name is Miss Kitty Litter ATX, and I'm a 60-year-old drag performer currently living in Austin, Texas. I've been doing drag for about, well, a little over 35 years now. I started performing during the height of the AIDS epidemic. We were trying to help out our friends in need when the government was not forthcoming with funds. It really actually started out as a joke. Me and some friends were at a campsite, and we had went and did their little show, and people seemed to like it and asked us to come perform the same act up in Dallas. And then we were asked to go to San Antonio, and we realized that we could actually do this as a way of raising money and awareness for our community. And that's what we did. At some point, my friends decided they didn't want to do it any longer. But I decided that as long as people were willing to come out and get some enjoyment from what I was doing, that I would continue to do it. And I've done fundraisers from everyone from Susan B. Komen, Breast Cancer Research Foundation, to AIDS Services of Austin, to the hospices, on and on and on. And always happy to lend a hand where I can. I had been doing shows mainly in nightclubs, and at some point I had an audition for a reality TV show called Camp Wanakiki. It was great fun, kind of RuPaul's Drag Race meets Deliverance. We were out in the woods for several weeks, and we had challenges and canoed and biked and whatnot. It was a great time, and when I came back, I was so excited about this experience that I was going to get to share on a worldwide stage. But then found out Alex Jones and InfoWars had done a segment about one of my drag storytime events. And whether you know this or not, but there's a lot of people in the right wing who don't approve of drag performers. They don't approve of LGBTQIA+. They don't approve of pretty much anything that doesn't fit into their narrow worldview. I had been attacked online for doing this storytime event. I had received death threats. I had to go to the police department and the FBI just to try and get some kind of protection. I was very lucky at this time to also be a member of UU Church, and I was surprised and humbled by the support and the love that I had gotten from the congregation and the church just as a whole. It was genuinely appreciated. I don't know how many people know this, but not all churches are welcoming to all types of lifestyles and lives. And so to come to a place that was so welcoming and accepting, there's just really no words to describe it. It's amazing. And I'm very appreciative for that. Since then, well, what's happened? You know, we go through these cycles. I've been able to go to several different small towns in the United States. Of course, we still get the online backlash. We still have people that don't like us, but they don't know us. And I think if they had given us a chance like you did, then they might find out that we were just regular folks, maybe with the heightened sense of fashion. When I started coming here, I noticed a few things. First of all, the music here is incredible. I don't know if y'all have heard it, but yeah, there's just like, the congregation seems to get along with each other. It's a judgment-free zone, and I certainly like that. And to have come from maybe a background of fire and brimstone and eternal damnation and this and that and the other, and threats being issued from the pulpit, it was nice to come to a place where I felt like that people were accepting and were welcoming and were not trying to scare you, but instead were trying to make you feel like, well, just a person, you know. Yeah, I just think that it's incredible that so many of the members of the congregation that are politically active and get out there and fight for causes that they feel are just. How it would affect me personally, well, seeing that people would go out to the Capitol to try and fight like drag bans or try and fight for rights issues, that means a lot, and it takes a lot. It takes some bravery and courage to step outside of what we do on a Sunday, and to go out into the community and practice what you preach. It creates a feeling of admiration to know that there's people who genuinely care about the world that we live in and are fighting to try and make a difference. We face challenges every day, Lord knows, these days more than ever. And I think that we just have to continue to fight, to stay strong, and to have a conviction of our beliefs and stand behind those. For me, I think when it comes to the whole drag thing, as far as the spiritual side of it, it's because I think that whatever higher power it is that's out there, they give everybody some gifts. And I feel like that it's a crime not to use those gifts. So if I'm able to entertain a crowd or tell stories, there's people out there who sing, they dance, they're great orators, they're smart at math, whatever that happens to be. You use those talents that you were given to make the world a better place. For me, that's where the spirituality comes in, because I get to use something that was given to me by up above to try and make things better for folks. If everybody did that, the world would be a better place, just in my humble opinion. At any rate, that's kind of my life story in a nutshell, at least the performance art part of it. I am forever grateful to get the opportunity to share what I do with all of you and just say thank you. Thank you so much. I'm humbled every day that I still get to do what I do, maybe share a laugh or two or a smile, and tell some stories with the folks. So thanks.
Weren't those two amazing videos that we've seen today? I'd like to thank Leo Collis, who's back here in the AV. Stand up, Leo. for filming, editing, and everything else that it takes to make these videos. Again, I'm Mary Overton, and I lead our stewardship team here at First UU. You might see some of us with our yellow construction hats on. Please raise your hat, or if you don't have one, raise your hand if you're on our stewardship team. It takes a village. Welcome to Celebration Sunday, where we come together and celebrate the many ways our church is building the beloved community here in this building, in Greater Austin, and beyond. At First UU Austin, you are not alone. There is something for everybody. In fact, everyone here at church today is invited to join us for food activities and fun. Food will be served in the gallery, beverages in Howson, and we'll have some fun activities, including a haunted Howson hall. Please check it out. And we'll also have activities outside in the courtyard. And don't miss the ice cream truck out near the patio. We have 2 special activities celebrating our stewardship campaign's theme, Building Beloved Community. Please come and check out everything, and let's have fun. Here's a quick update on our 2025 stewardship campaign. As of today, we're at 85% of our $825,000 goal. That's 5% higher than we were on Celebration Sunday last year. Thank you to everyone who has pledged, and those of you that have increased your pledge. We appreciate your financial support and commitment to our church. However, we still need $125,000 to achieve our goal. Our board and our executive director cannot prepare the 2025 budget without knowing how much has been pledged. Your pledges support things like our religious education programs, our great music here on Sundays, supporting our LGBTQ+, BIPOC, and immigrant communities, our seniors, men's and women's groups, our ability to pay fair wages to our caring ministers and staff, and our building's operating expenses like water and electricity, but no mortgage. We want to make pledging as easy for you as possible. You can pledge electronically from the QR code in the order of service, by the QR code on the back of the pews, or on the homepage at austinuu.org. There's a link. And if you want to make a written pledge, there will be forms in Howson Hall, in front of haunted Howson Hall, after the service, if you'd like to fill out a form. If you attend virtually, we invite you to pledge as well. Our tech crew does their best to bring you the service every week. And it's not too late to increase your pledge. Please be as generous as you're able. No pledge is too small or too large. We would love to have all of our 2025 pledge commitments received by this coming Friday. That way, we won't be texting and calling you next Sunday. However, if you forget, please be kind to the volunteers contacting you. We're a vibrant, growing church with so many possibilities for the future. We need your help to fund our future and continue to build our beloved community. You are not alone when you're part of First UU Austin. Let's have some food and fun after the service. Thank you.
This is the time during the service when we commit to the mission and ministries of the church by making an offering. We give out of our own so that together we might build a better world. If you are new or visiting with us today, please allow the plate to pass you by. You are our guests. You can give a few different ways by going to austinuu.org and clicking on the link on the top right side of the page, or by texting your contributions to 84321, or by placing an offering in the basket the ushers are about to pass. Here in the sanctuary, the ushers will now collect our offering.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Everyone can see we're together as we walk on by. And we flock just like birds of a feather. I won't tell no lie. All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close? Just let me state for the record, we're giving love in a family dose. We are family. I got all my brothers with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my brothers with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. Living life is fun, and we've just begun to get our share of this world's delights. High hopes we have for the future and our goals in sight. No, we don't get depressed. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong. This is a family jewel. We are family. Everybody, I got all my people with me. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. All my people. I got all my people with me. We are family. Get up, everybody. Get up, everybody, and sing.
Your offerings have been given in love, and they have been received with gratitude. Once a traveler came across 3 bricklayers. She asked each one of them, "What are you doing?" The first answered gruffly, "I'm laying bricks," and returned sullenly to his work. The second replied, "I'm putting up a wall," and continued with the task at hand, growing wearier and slower with each brick. But the third said enthusiastically and with pride, "I'm building a cathedral." And not so long after, it came to be and was more magnificent than anyone could have possibly imagined.
This is the time in our service when we center ourselves together. We breathe together. As we breathe in and breathe out, we sense one another's loving presence. Breathing in and out, we follow our breath to a deeper place inside, a place of greater wisdom, a place where that spark of the divine resides within each of us. And breathing together, we enter into a time of sacred silence together, remembering that we also hold sacred human sounds, including those of small children. Breathing in, breathing out. We now enter into that time of sacred silence together. If you've not already done so, I invite you now to light candles as you are so moved, candles of sorrow, joy, remembrance, resilience, hope, celebration, whatever is on your heart at this time. As we light candles, I invite you to keep in your mind and heart members of our community who are ill or in sorrow, as well as those who are celebrating joys. Let us now enter into a time of candle lighting and meditative quiet, and as the music comes to an end, hold the meditative quiet.
Gracia plena,
Now we light one last candle for all those for whom there is no one to light a candle. Happy Celebration Sunday. On this, the last Sunday of October last year, I was preaching the last of 2 sermons of a full ministerial candidating week, and then everyone went off to vote on whether I would be called as the next settled minister, while I waited nervously at a coffee shop 1 block away. I couldn't find a CBD shop. So pardon me as I celebrate that I'm not doing that again this Sunday this year. And a year later, we have much to celebrate. Today, we celebrate you and the commitments, the pledges you have made or will make to keep this church and its mission alive and going strong in our world. Your pledges make so much possible. We have built an ever-growing culture of caring at First Unitarian Universalist, or UU. We launched our Caring Companions lay pastoral support ministry, and we're planning for even more organized ways of supporting one another in the months to come. Your pledges make a thriving social action ministry at the church possible. This church year, we have committed more time and resources to dedicated church-wide social justice events and worship services than ever before on topics like reproductive justice, climate justice, democracy and voting, and more. And we're also working to make sure we live our social justice values right here first, by exploring how we can become, as you heard, even more inclusive and welcoming, by finding ways to offer accessibility across all areas of church life, and by taking steps to dismantle vestiges of white supremacy culture in all our own ways of doing things. Fare thee well, Robert's Rules of Order. We bless and release you. Now, we have an election coming up in a little over a week, and no matter what the result, this church will be called upon to do justice and build the beloved community more than ever. Depending on the result of the election, those in control of our state government during the upcoming legislative session will either feel empowered and unchecked by the next presidential administration, or, if it goes the other way, they will do their best to undermine and run as counter as possible to that administration. So either way, as the large UU church closest to the state capitol, we will be there to demand love and justice, our voices raised, and on occasion, I suspect, our fist in solidarity with our justice partners. Let us celebrate today that because of your pledges, that strong and faithful voice for love and justice will be showing up and stirring up. Your pledges are also making it possible for this church to play a larger and larger role in our greater UU faith movement. We've become a virtual birthing center for mentoring and supporting new ministers. I have lost count of how many ministers have come out of this church and how many of our current folks are at various stages of becoming UU ministers. In the months to come, we will also become an internship site again. And folks from throughout the church are serving in several leadership capacities within our larger faith, as well as we continue to explore partnerships with other local UU churches, Texas UU Justice Ministry, and our UU Southern Region. And more folks are visiting the church and joining as members. Our RE program is growing as well. And we're growing not just in numbers, but in our spiritual development and our presence in each other's lives and in our world. This too is happening because your commitment is providing that spiritual home so many are seeking. Well, I could go on and on about the future and vision your pledges are making possible, a future and vision that, by the way, will no doubt be extremely appealing to potential co-lead ministers out there. I will close with this, though. When this church called me around this time last year, I had no way of knowing that my own personal calling would be altered so drastically only a few months later, when I would be called to become first caregiver and then mourner for the love of my life. Because of that, I have witnessed in a very personal way the very real difference this church and our UU faith makes in people's lives. In the last months, they saved mine. So I celebrate you today for creating a religious community that I couldn't be prouder to say that I serve as a minister. I celebrate you. Thank you for being first UU.
I'd like to tell you a little story. It's a story about three people named Aubrey, Sasha, and Kinsey. Sasha is your administrator, Aubrey is your kitchen manager, and Kinsey is your manager of religious education. They came up with an idea. I imagine it was a little idea at first, but then as they talked and planned, it grew and grew and grew. There were requests for recycled materials to come into the church, cardboard tubes and boxes and paper towel rolls. There were searches on Facebook Marketplace looking for reused and repurposed materials for their project. There was sorting through and culling out of large storage closets. There was requests of volunteers to donate time and materials. And the project, the idea, grew and grew. It was definitely a project, not an idea anymore. And I inserted myself every so often and asked if they needed some more of this or something of that, and mostly they said that they were good. And I wasn't quite sure how it was gonna turn out, because last night was the big reveal of their project. Have you all figured out what I'm talking about yet? Haunted Housen Hall. I know not all of you have seen it yet, and it's mostly still there. Last night it was much darker and much spookier and had more candy and had some games that aren't there right now. But even so, the next few days it will remain up, and you can be able to go through it and explore it and experience it. And this is the totally unbelievable part. How many of you have already seen it or experienced it? A number of you have. Would you believe all of it costs less than $200? They are amazing. I was bowled over when I walked in last night and experienced haunted housing. It was amazing and it was fun, and there were little kids and there were older adults, and we were all there together, and there were costumes and fun to be had. And it's a story not just of abundance, because everything this community needed to put on something as fun and amazing as haunted housing was already here. It's also a story of transformation. That hall is just this little segment of our bigger picture as First UU community. Your staff and some very dedicated volunteers, and even the students that go to high school here during the week helped out and transformed your hall for you for this amazing celebration Sunday. So, here is the part where I talk about being an interim and what that means. I haven't really talked about it a whole bunch with you over the whole last year, but a key part of being an interim is intentionally coming in with an outsider's perspective, being able to reflect back to you what it is that I see. And that's important in what I'm trying to say today on Celebration Sunday. So, you know that I'm leaving, and I'll be with you the rest of the year, but I will be leaving. You know that my salary is already set. I'm not going to be getting a raise. I'm not invested personally in what happens with the pledge drive and the budget for the next several months. I'll be going. But I am invested in the presence of this church as an amazing, thriving, vital UU community, and I want more of them all over the place, but especially in Austin, Texas. So anyways, this outsider's perspective is, what I want to say about that is that this building that you're doing, this building of the beloved community, it's really all about you. It's about you, it's about your amazing staff, it's about your amazing minister, it is about your amazing seminarians and newly ordained ministers, your community ministers, your musicians, your choir, your children, everybody. It's all about you and what you are becoming. So, I kind of have this image in my head. I wish I had like 2 little poles right here with those red flashing lights, strobe lights that could go off. Okay. So we've been hearing that y'all want some more theology, explicit theology. So theology, here we come. There's your warning sign. So as an outsider, I am free to celebrate with you everything that you have become so far and everything you will someday become and everything you are right now. Becoming is an ongoing theological and spiritual process. We are always becoming. We are always building on what has become before. We are always building on what is yet to come. This is process theology. I'm a process theologian in part, as is Chris. I'm also a panentheist. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that, but it does go all the way back to William Ellery Channing and his preaching sermons about being a likeness to God in the 19th century, theology of self-culture and building ourselves up and always improving and becoming better. So there is some of that white stuff in there that we want to dismantle, but it's also about God or the holy, whatever it is, the universe that you see that is bigger than any of us as individuals is also in process, is also growing, is also changing. It's a rejection of a static God or a static holy or static divine. So together with whatever is greater than us, we are building. We are becoming. I joked with Brent earlier about this old cartoon called Bob the Builder. Do any of you know it? It was popular when my nephew was a kid. And the opening song goes, I'm not going to sing it, but it's about Bob the Builder. Can he build it? Yes, he can. We heard it from the choir. I sent him a YouTube video and told him that's what we should sing today. Thankfully, he chose something else. But the truth is that we are all Bob. I'm Bob, even as my outsider perspective. You're Bob, you're Bob. All of you are Bob. New people who just joined the church are Bob. The visitors who are here for the very first time are Bob. The people who've been here since the 1950s and helped founded this church are Bob. We are all Bob. Members, friends, new folks, visitors. You have built, we are building, and you will continue to build it. All of us. So just like Housen Hall has been transformed out of the abundance of resources that are already here, that are present right here, right now, you are. We are together transforming this community both inside and outside of these physical walls. Right now, you are at 85% of your goal after only 2 weeks. Let's celebrate that. We're going to celebrate that today. And as careful as your staff has been with the resources that you entrust to them, under $200, amazing experience right outside these doors. The truth is that our expenses have gone up by a lot, by a real lot. And I know that those sustaining pledges are easy to continue from year to year. So whether you haven't pledged yet or you're one of our amazing sustainers, remember to go in, and if you can, if you at all possibly can, increase those pledges so that we can keep up with those rising expenses. We are almost there. So let's continue to pool those resources. Let's celebrate. Let's bring this pledge drive home. All the way. People keep telling me that you kind of usually stop at 85, 90, 95%. I'm challenging you to get to 100% or more before the end of the drive. We have everything we already need right here in this room, out there in Housen Hall, out there online. Our resources are here. Let's pull them together so that we can keep on doing amazing things, because you are amazing and you are doing amazing things. Every dollar, every hour given counts. Can we build it? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Amen and blessed be.
Now please rise, either in body or spirit, and let us sing together hymn 311 from the Gray Hymnal, Let It Be a Dance. Please join me in saying the words as we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again.
Our benediction today is from UU minister Reverend Peter Rabel.
We build on foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves by fires we did not light.
We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig.
We profit from persons we did not know.
This is as it should be.
Together, we are more than any one person could be.
Together, we can build across generations.
Together, we can renew our hope and faith in the life that is yet to unfold.
Together, we can heed the call to a ministry of care and justice.
We are ever bound in community.
May it always be so.
Amen, and blessed be.
Go in peace.
And in the sacred words of Brother Barry Gibb, you should be dancing, yeah. Come on, 1, 2.